But did you notice something in the text as Pastor Travis read it this morning? Did you notice where this man with an unclean spirit comes from? Every indication that we have is that he comes from within the synagogue. The problem is not just outside of the Jewish people. The problem is within them as well. The problem is with those who attend the synagogue. The lesson is perhaps the same that I've learned throughout my life, that Christians aren't perfect. That Christians in the church sin. That simply because you have money and that you go to church every Sunday does not mean that you will not encounter suffering in your life in one way or another. It's more often a question of when rather than if. Certainly, I don't think any of us are possessed by demons, but certainly this text does open our eyes to the reality of spiritual warfare. That we fight not against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. That spiritual warfare is real. Just because we do not experience direct demonic attack, as many of our brothers and sisters in Christ do across the globe, does not often mean that we are not also under attack. Perhaps the spiritual warfare is teaching us to trust in our bank account more than we trust in Christ. Perhaps the spiritual warfare is sowing seeds of conflicts between brothers and sisters in Christ over matters that are non-essential, not the primary gospel truth, as Paul says to us in 1 Corinthians 8 this morning. Perhaps the spiritual warfare we endure is how Satan tears at the cracks in our relationships, especially within our families, until cracks become fissures and fissures break until the relationship is ultimately broken. Whether or not we can always see it, we certainly know with the eyes of faith, as Jesus teaches us, that we are under attack. But we know who the victor